Is your toilet running and you want to know how to fix it? Well, in this video I'm going to show you the main reasons that cause a toilet to run and the easiest ways to fix them. Hey folks, Kevin here with Kev's Castle and CastleRemodel.com. I want to also tell you about my home maintenance checklist that I have a link to in the description down below. If you want to check that out, it's a free checklist, and what it does is walks you through all the different steps of maintaining a home over the course of the year. And it's basically just going to show you how to keep everything in top shape and maintain it to a level where everything is working in optimal order and will last the longest, like the appliances and what other things that you should be aware of but you may not. Also, I do have a locals community that I set up. It's at locals.com. And I want you to go check it out because I'm trying to build up that community. I am adding extra content there. So if you want to be a part of that community, hit that link down below for the locals community and it'll take you right to it. Now let's get started in how to fix a leaky toilet.
Before you begin working on the toilet, you want to turn the water supply off. And that's just a quarter twist on this one, but sometimes you may have to turn more than a quarter of a turn. And then we'll flush the toilet to empty out all the water. Here I'm removing the chain connecting the flush valve to the toilet's handle. It's not easy for you to see because it's kind of a tight space to work in. I disconnect the tube that's going to the flush valve, and then I give it a twist at the base to remove the flush valve and take it out of the tank. You can see this gasket is not looking very good, and that's what's causing the running toilet. So I am removing the gasket, and that's what I'll be replacing. I'm using a Corky brand gasket replacement. This is a Kohler toilet, and this brand is designed for this type of toilet. So if you are not sure exactly what size you need, go ahead and bring the gasket to the hardware store and find it that way. There's a slot at the base of the tank that the flush valve fits in. You want to make sure you have it lined up so that the tube and the chain will be in the proper orientation for when you hook it all back together. But we are just going to be doing these exact same steps we took to get it out. We're just going in reverse order. Hook up the tube, install the chain, and twist it in place at the base. It's basically just a quarter turn after you fit it into the slot. Now you can turn the water back on and fill up the tank. Congratulations, you just successfully changed the gasket on a flush valve.
If you need to replace this piece, it might be helpful for you to take it off and just keep the toilet turned off and take this to the hardware store so you can get the exact piece that you're looking for. They do have different options. You're going to want to know the diameter here. You're going to also want to know how it connects. There are several different connection types available, so it might be more helpful. Just take this off, maybe put it in a plastic bag, take it with you down to the hardware store and get the piece that matches it. The way it pops on and off are these two tabs right here, and then there are connections back in here that it hooks onto. You want to make sure that this area that it seats onto is clean. That might be another reason why it's leaking. there could be some buildup around here, so just taking it off and cleaning it might help. And then the other adjustment that you can see here is the chain has been shortened by hooking it back on itself, hooking the chain on right here. And what that does is it makes it easier for this piece to open the flapper. So you may need to adjust the new one when you put that on. We'll start off by resting it right here, pop that down, pop that. And then hook that back on, and now we can turn the water back on. And if you want to adjust the height that the water fills up, if you want to have maybe less water in a flush or more, it's this adjustment screw right here. You just turn it. If you turn it to the left, it brings this float down. And what this does is as the water fills up, the float is what turns off the fill water. And if you want it to turn off sooner, you can bring the float down. Or if you want it to have more water in the tank, maybe the toilet isn't flushing completely when you go to flush it, you can turn it clockwise. So turn this to the right like this, and it'll bring the water level up. There's also one more way that the toilet could leak, and it could be a leak that's outside of the tank and bowl. And what that would do is it would cause drips here on, it would cause drips on the ground, possibly coming down the supply line, but definitely down and dripping onto the ground. And what that would be from are these bolts right here that secure the tank to the bowl. And to fix that, the reason why that would be happening is because these two bolts right here, there's one right there, and there's one right there. There is a black rubber gasket underneath the bolt, and that gasket is allowing water from the tank to go through and drip down the bolt and onto the ground. And so you would want to tighten up both of those. And to do that, the tools you would use are a flathead screwdriver and a crescent wrench. And you would you would probably want to start by turning off the water, and then you would take the crescent wrench, or in this case it would just be a thumb screw right here, and then use your hand. You don't need a crescent wrench, but if it was a hex nut, you would use the crescent wrench, and that bolt on top inside the tank would be a flathead screwdriver, and you would just tighten that down just enough to where it stops dripping. But you don't want to go too far, because the porcelain in these tanks and the bowls are brittle enough to crack if you put too much pressure. So you don't want to crack it, but you do want to stop that leak. And if it is a problem still, you would want to take the bolts out and replace those gaskets. And to do that, take that gasket with you to the hardware store, go to the plumbing section, and you would just get the new gaskets that are exactly the same and replace them that way. And that's all that it takes to fix a leaky toilet. If you like this video and you got value out of it, please hit that thumbs up. It helps other people find it as well. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, hit that subscribe button. What that does is it notifies you when new videos come out. That way you're the first one to know. And here at Kev's Castle and at castleremodel.com, I am dedicated to helping you create your castle. Thanks for watching.